For the first time in the history of Smirk, we're going to open this up with a PSA. This episode deals with a very controversial topic, and though we always approach everything with a very light and jovial tone, we just want to warn you that it might bother some people. I can't tell you what the topic is, though, because that's how the uncomfortable funny starts. Enjoy this episode of Smirk. Welcome to the podcast that looks at truth, fiction, and reality with a smirk. I'm Aaron Peterson.
I'm Amanda Sink.
I'm Zack Parkerson.
And welcome to Smirk. Each episode, one of our hosts introduces an original story, which we then use as a springboard for spirited discussion, whatever the moral or theme of their story is. This week it is Zack's turn. I am excited. Last week we had a whole morbid discussion on psychosis and death penalties. And
yeah.
Oh, man. So are you going to bring us up or take us further down a rabbit hole?
I'd also like to point out that I gave the performance of a lifetime.
You did.
So thank you.
Did you just say that so that way we could praise you some more?
I was fishing for a compliment, absolutely.
Oh, I just fell right into it.
Sure did. You jumped in the boat. He didn't even have to put the thing in the water.
Well, it's all right, because Aaron would never compliment me, so...
I complimented you last week. I'm going to keep doing it.
Jeez.
God.
So I don't know, I gotta win the Golden Globe and the Oscar, and I gotta win them all.
Well, just so you know, the Golden Globe isn't really an award. It's like 93 journalists, so it's, Oscars is the real deal. That's where you want.
Hashtag Oscars so white.
Okay.
Hashtag Oscars don't watch all the movies.
Edgar Wright does. He tweeted
He
about
does. I'm so proud of him.
The Oscars are like a month ago. Let's move forward.
I think it's gonna get weird. I'll tell you that.
It's going to be weird?
I don't know, dark and weird, I guess it would be what I would say the tone is.
Okay. I'm curious.
Intrigued. Yeah. Gather on the campfire. It's time for a story. Josh was feverishly tapping his foot in nervousness. Today was the day. He's finally going to kiss Abigail. There had been a connection between them for years, a spark. He could feel it, and knew full well she could too. They met when they were young, during that confusing, tumultuous time of youth when you're discovering yourself. Josh and Abigail developed a deep connection during these years, more or less helping one another survive the harsh trials of life. They stayed in touch throughout all those years, and even though they could only see each other every couple weeks or so. As the years went on, so too did their connection grow. Things had threatened to turn saucy once or twice, of course. Game of truth or dare here, some strip poker there, dumb kid stuff. But it was always as if the other was too afraid to make the move. Childhood crush turned into unbridled love. After a nice dinner and a movie, Josh saw his opportunity outside the theater. He pulled Abigail in tight for a hug, and they both lingered. He went for it. The kiss could only be described as picture perfect. A lifetime of emotions poured into a single moment that was always destined to be. It was as if the two shared a soul. Abigail giggled and smiled, and Josh knew he had her. Every feeling of love was shared both ways. He looked into the eyes of his lover, of his sister, and he went in for another passionate kiss.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Is that the end of the story?
Yeah, that is, yeah.
So did you just is this like a spin-off of Game of Thrones? Modern day?
Well, you could, it's a spin-off of Arrested Development, where there are a couple cousins making out.
That's not cousins, that's sister, brother. That's nasty.
I mean, blood's blood,
Wait,
baby.
does that happen in Arrested Development?
The cousins, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, that was quite a turn, my friend. That went somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta put those last-minute twists in there.
Killed all the momentum it had. Tell you that right now.
I thought this was like a death story. And I was like, is she a dead body or something?
Ooh, great topic for another time. Is necrophilia okay?
Short answer, no.
Oh, man.
Can I see them?
That's what I'm saying. Crack cold one open.
Like a can of Pepsi?
Yeah. That's right, man. Get in there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, what do you think the moral of the story is, y'all?
Don't bang your sister.
I mean, Fair.
I'm sorry, don't make love to your sister. Don't kiss your sister. Don't do anything with your freaking brother or sister.
Don't make love to her?
No. It's going to ruin Christmas.
Well, if you play the cards incorrectly. If you seal the deal, Christmas is going to be smooth sailing.
Why did you give your sister a nightie? Don't worry about it, Ma. You know what I'm saying? And you might want to leave before the mistletoe gets here. You know what I mean? Huh?
Oh, I love it. Good times.
I don't know what the moral is. I mean, like, other than what Aaron said, like, and I don't know if he was joking or serious.
Don't bang your sister?
Yeah.
Pretty serious. Don't do it. It's gross.
Okay. The moral
But I don't know what the moral is.
The moral is...
Okay.
Let me tell you. Love is love.
No! No, It's not!
Oh, here we go. First question.
Oh.
Are we for or against incest? Boom. Let's open it up.
Are we for or against it?
That's right, man. You pro, con?
I mean, well, first I got like, what are the options in this neighborhood? I mean, is it really thin, really slim? Are we talking about it's a town of 6? I mean, I got to be fair to whoever the people involved are. I think it's very important.
Yeah, the Missouri stock is not the greatest, let me tell you.
How big is this village, so to speak?
Isn't it also illegal?
It's illegal to marry him. I don't think it's illegal to hump.
Right.
Or make love. Sorry, make love.
Make sweet, passionate love.
Hey, baby, we don't even have to change names.
Oh, my goodness.
See? You play your cards right, man. Chris is going to get easy.
Think how much easier it's going to be at the holidays. We go to one house.
That's smart, though.
There's a whole lot of win here.
A whole lot less presents, too.
What could go wrong?
Just think if we have a wedding, we only got to fill one side of the aisle. Oh,
That's smart, though. You see, now you think outside the box there, and I like it a lot.
Yeah. It's going to save on letters on the invitations. You just got the one name again. That's going to...
Problem solver.
Don't have to redo anything. Don't have to file any more paperwork. You're just like, we're just married, man. We don't need a license. We got the same name.
Dope. So you're not a big fan of incest? Is that what I'm getting? I want to go a little taboo this week.
Hang on. Let me think on this, all right? This is a societal thing.
It is.
That was created by, society. That it's wrong because you're from the same vagina, therefore you should not share vagina.
You're not necessarily from the same vagina. I mean, I guess in this story, there are full-blooded siblings.
I mean, I don't really think it matters. Half full. It's still...
Well,
that's still sibling.
Half full. What about cousins,
That's still cousins.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me as much, but brother and sister, I mean, really, how many levels are we going? What's the tier?
Also,
first cousin, second cousin, third cousin. What's the tier?
What's the acceptability?
Yeah.
And here's another question I have with this. Does, adopted siblings who grew up together count?
Oh.
Because they grew up as siblings. I had some friends, and I think that they were both adopted. They grew up together. I think that they were banging at one point.
Yeah.
From high school.
Well,
yeah, I'm pretty
or were they
sure.
making love?
Oh my God, whatever.
I just want to know.
There's a difference.
That's true, man.
One of them gets you candy on a certain day, and the other one probably won't.
Well.
Oh.
Yeah, one gets you candy, the other gets you a gag. Or we have to cut this too? Come on.
This is a very explicit episode.
I mean, this episode, I kind of mulled even going as a topic because I was like, how quickly are we going to delve into the explicit tag on this?
It is a very societal thing, right? We have a lot of predisposition against certain quote unquote taboos, but nobody ever really stops to think about them. Why are they bad? Why are they necessarily bad? Now, I would say that this is one you don't really have to think about. I'm just saying that there are a lot of them, like cousins. I think that's one where you can stop and think about it. It's not necessarily...
Can you?
Yeah, because, again, societal. It's not something I would do. But if I have a cousin hot enough, I'd consider it.
First time I made out with a girl, I thought she was my cousin. She was not my cousin. I was lied to.
Did you keep going?
Well, so I like to tell the story because, I think she was my first kiss. I thought she was my cousin when I made out with her. I found out later she was not because I'd been lied to about who my father was.
Mm.
That's a great story for another time. So I thought she was my cousin when we were making out. And then I found out she was not. I was like, does that lose a little bit of the excitement though?
It killed the luster.
Oh boy.
I thought I was being
Is this what sparked the story?
I thought I was being a bad boy.
Yeah, no, just thought I was being Joe Dirte over here.
Joe Dirte. It's funny.
Oh man, good times.
So can we all agree brother and sister probably shouldn't get get down and dirty?
No, I'm going to disagree.
Probably. I mean, you'd go to jail and...
No, I don't think you go to jail for that.
Even if you did, there are a lot of things you can go to jail for. Download a movie off the internet.
And what about babies?
Okay, hold on.
That's science.
First of all, let me issue my stance here first, okay?
Yeah, he says it's okay, and I want to know what he's making a case for exactly.
Like most things in my life, if it's a consenting adult, what do I care? How is it affecting me? Similar to, like, other lifestyle choices. What do I care? Who do I care who you marry? How does that affect me? Who do I care who you bang? How does that affect me? What do I care if you snort cocaine on the weekends? It doesn't affect me. What do I care?
But it would affect your family quite a bit.
Well, it would make the reunion a little awkward, sure.
Well, if you guys break up and it's a bad breakup, you'll be sitting around Christmas and nobody wants to talk about that. So why did you insist break up?
Yeah. You're going to learn to adapt. Quit. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if I find out my aunt and uncle, they're both blood related or something, and I find out they hooked up, I wouldn't even, like, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. What do I care?
Cool?
I'd be like, show me a picture of Auntie when she was younger. Let me see what we're talking about.
It's worth it.
Let me get some justification for that.
Or like you're like cousins marrying, like who? Just, you know what? If you find love in this gosh darned world, why limit yourself?
There's a lot of fish in the sea, and Zack apparently is just going to the supermarket. He's just like, I'm going to take what's available.
Supermarket.
He's going to the pond in his backyard.
Yeah, he's going to the hallway.
What's in the aquarium? What's in the fish bowl?
Dad's looking cute today.
Oh, God. You're making this worse.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. The whole, if it doesn't bother
parent and kid incest, that's where I start to question things.
Well, that's abuse.
Now you're pushing in where you got pushed out.
Ew.
That's
one step probably too far. You have a nice day.
Hey, man,
you can't just leave the podcast.
I'm talking about a topic here. All right.
That's not a topic I want to engage. You guys have at it. I'll just sit back and listen and wait for the email.
Hey, I'm saying I don't know if I could do that one. That's what I'm saying.
I hope not.
Well,
that one's kind of gross. Now you're saying consenting wise, right? Like nothing, consenting age.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, that is apparently a thing. If you go, not that I would, but if you went to a website, like an adult website, they seem to have a lot of that being the trend. Mommy, son, daddy, daughter.
Yeah,
stuff
you're
like
right. Incest porn is very popular, I assume, because A, it is taboo, and B, most surveys show that around 20-25% of people have engaged in consensual incest in their life.
Did you do research for this topic?
Yeah.
20 to 25%?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, but just think about it logically about
Did you get that
cousins.
number from like somebody who made out with their sister and they're just trying to justify? Yeah, like 25% people, dude. It happens all the time.
Like the number shocked me as well, but then like when you think about like, you kiss your cousin. I mean, there's a phrase, kissing cousins. That's why they call it kissing cousins.
Did you pull the statistic from Alabama stats?
I don't know. It was I think Alabama was 76%.
Where were these individuals that they pulled?
I think this mostly stems down to watching Arrested Development as a child, and the cousins were obviously in teenage love, and there's like the show kept playing with if it was right or wrong. It was like, hey man, if they want to kiss, let them kiss.
Wow. You know what? You know what? Okay, true side story. Amanda brought up Game of Thrones, and that really always grossed me out whenever the Lannisters were making out because they're brother and sister. But I do know people who are rooting for them. So in my mind, apparently there's probably more people that are okay with it than you think.
I mean, by the sheer stats of Pornhub, there must be.
On the same token, that might be the only way you see anyone of people's age is by going to that, because otherwise they're all going to be like 18.
Yeah. Well.
What?
There is a lot of it. Just a lot.
Xvideos.com.
Who goes to Xvideos?
Your boyfriend, probably. What? Oh, ouch.
Now I got to go check.
Oh my God. Let the man live.
If you check his porn history and it's empty, he's bad.
And he's probably banging his cousin.
What?
I'm just saying.
There's a 25% chance, apparently.
That means like a quarter of your family.
I think it happens more often than you think, and I think people just don't talk about it because they know it's wrong. But it just makes sense to me that if you have two people, especially of opposite genders, no offense, just that's how stats break down. It only makes sense that when you get to an experimenting age, you have, like, especially if like siblings meet later in life or something, you know?
No.
Here's what you do next Thanksgiving. Get 8 of your family members and line them up.
Which one's made out?
And 2 of them have made out at some point. Enjoy.
That's not how stats work, but I'm sure Alabama does bump this number up, Aaron.
I'm actually curious how many people were polled and where they were.
Hang on. More
from.
importantly, I want to do a lineup at my next Thanksgiving dinner. I want to get everybody to stand up against a wall, and I'm just going to walk down the line. You made out with anybody in this family? No. 2 of you are lying. 2 of you are lying.
Well, then you should like start throwing it to their face and be like, "Well, you don't think Aunt Beth's hot? You don't think Aunt Beth's attractive? Is that what it is?"
Then I start doing interrogation techniques, trying to get one of them to brag. Be like, "All right, it was me. I did it. We made out last Christmas. I'm so sorry."
See, yeah, even like drunken accidents, the number checks out to me. Though it was startling.
That's a real statistic, though, huh? How do they find that out? Because who's going to own up to that?
Well, if it's anonymous.
Oh, all right. There's a chance. Unless you are in Alabama, then they just put their name on the ballot. Like, nope, it was me. Yep.
Oh, you're offending so many Alabamians.
Oh, roll Tide.
I wonder how many listeners we have in Alabama. It's 0 now, but I wonder how many we had.
They might stick around for you, Zach.
Hey, half my family is from Arkansas and Missouri, so trust me, I understand the hillbilly quotient. It's okay.
I try to remain as, I guess, socially libertarian as I can. I just don't care what you do.
That's pretty liberal.
Just don't care.
I don't care, but I just don't want to think of it. I don't want to have to wonder, hey, is Cousin Sally and Cousin Sam doing it under the table? I just don't want to think about that.
Well, if they did it on the table?
Well, then I can't eat my turkey. That's very uncomfortable.
That's Sally's a distraction. Loves love. I'm telling you, as long as you everything's good.
That one probably won't make it.
Why do people feel inclined to force their values onto others? Why is it so important for people that other people live life according to their way?
I think there's a difference between wanting everyone to have an equal opportunity and forcing unnecessary values on people. Like, to give an example, I don't think that wanting the gay community to be able to get married and have the same rights as heterosexual couples is forcing a value on other people. I think it's just, this is human rights. This isn't about your religion and all of that. That's different than, I think, what you're saying, which is, like, we have these societal pressures that say this is how you have to live your life. It's unacceptable if you do X, Y, and Z.
Right. So there should be no rules. That's what I'm saying. Tear it down.
Don't you feel there has to be some level of structure of human structure and rights and equality without pushing on others?
Yes and no. I don't believe in anarchy. I do believe you need structure and guidance in a governmental system. Mm-hmm. But I think there are certain social things such as homosexuality or what religion you are. Mm-hmm. There are these freedoms that it just doesn't, that when somebody exercises their own, it doesn't affect your personal value list. Like, if you don't think gay people should get married, then don't get married to your same gender and you still live within your values. Why in the world is it important to you that value be forced on other people?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that because I don't think that way.
But I cannot fathom a reason other than just pure ego that you think you're right and you want everyone else to live according to it.
Okay, so here's a scenario.
All right.
And I agree with the homosexual angle you were talking about. I'm talking about the incest angle.
Love it.
Oh, right. The actual topic.
Oh, yeah,
the actual topic. Yeah. I just don't want people to say I'm going feel a different way than I do.
So you're cupping your brother's balls.
So you're...
Shit. Sorry.
So you're a parent. You're a parent of 2 kids, male, female,
right?
Woman, whatever. You come home and you hear a ruckus going on in the bedroom because your kids were left home
Just
alone.
wrestling.
You think they're wrestling, they're having some fun. You're like, oh,
All right, okay. Quick
Billy-
note for parents: for the records, brothers and sisters are never wrestling.
Billy and Susie are having a good old rambunctious time in the room.
They're playing Twister.
You open the door, they're naked playing Twister. That's of concern for my home life. So I look at it as, it's not forcing my values on you. I'm saying you're living in the same house. Stop humping. If when
I love the defeated tone you have when you say it. Like, come on, again, Billy.
Stop it. Just like when you're adults, you move out, you can do whatever you want. You live in my house, my rules, and there's none of that nastiness going on in my house. That one I'm going to lay down.
Hey, Aaron, I support that.
Well, that would be the same even if you had a child living with you and their significant other was
True.
coming over and staying or something. Like, don't be humping in the bedroom.
True.
I feel like that's just a house rule.
Yeah, I think you should encourage it, but that's a topic for another time.
Definitely not going to encourage it. Get out. Go hump on your own time. When you come over to Christmas, let's pretend like this never happened.
Well, I wasn't referring to the siblings. I was referring to the significant other.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep sidetracking you.
You should give them a safe environment. They're going to do it with or without you.
Sure, they can. That's when they get jobs. They go out and they get their own place. They can have that safe environment.
What a parent!
I'm not trying to win an award, man.
Yeah, I support your house, your rules.
Yeah.
If you want to bang your sister, wait until you're both 18.
And out of my house. Because I want plausible deniability.
Well, like I thought they didn't go to prison.
I had no idea, Grandma. That is wrong.
I think they do. I think that they do go to prison. I'm going to argue with you. I think that it is illegal, Zach.
How is that a crime if you're both consenting adults? There's no law broken.
I feel like Google it. I'm pretty sure that is illegal. Incest is illegal.
Well, that just makes it all the hotter, don't you think?
Now, that could lead back to Zach's initial question is why would that be illegal if it is illegal?
In the majority of states in the United States, incest is illegal. And also now part of my search history, Amanda. Thanks a lot.
I went to a private browser.
Son of a bitch.
Zach watches porn. He knows what he's doing. You are not efficient.
Yeah, no, that is wild. That's illegal. Like, see, that takes me back to my point, though. Like, what does it matter? How does that hurt you? How's it hurting anybody? Especially if they're like, no, they're not trying for a kid. Like, who is it hurting?
All the punishments vary by state and by case.
Yes, in Alabama, they force you to get married.
Incest between adults is legal. In the states of New Jersey and Rhode Island, incest between adults is legal.
There you go.
However, neither state permits marriage.
Well, at least you have the family coverage there. So if you need to go see him at the hospital, you still have access.
I like that Ohio has a law that's like, hey, incest is okay, just not between parents and kids.
Wow. Well, actually, it's against law in Alabama. We should acknowledge that. We should.
Well, it doesn't change any of the being the brunt of the jokes for it, though.
No, 1 to 10 years in prison and a fine of up to $15,000, or just a wink and a nod. We'll let you go.
Yes, bring your sister by later. We'll figure it out.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. That's really serious, man. Up to life in prison in Idaho. Jesus.
What?
That's a bit extreme.
That's super serious.
When you kill somebody 25, you have consenting adult with your cousin.
Sis, you are not that hot. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
Now, I really don't think that is necessary.
Right.
For like criminal punishment, but like it's illegal.
So? I downloaded music.
I don't even steal movies. I don't pirate. I'm against that.
Oh, I don't do it anymore. But
Wow. Okay, what's the next question? I feel like I want to get off this topic quick before they get here.
It feels like this episode's gone strangely long.
Yeah, it feels very uncomfortable. I don't like where we're going, and I don't really want to lose my job and or livelihood, so let's move on.
If the love feels true and pure, would anything stop you?
The law would.
Yeah, the law.
You guys really hung up on the law, huh?
Yes.
I'm not going to jail for love.
Well, that's absurd. That's the most romantic thing in the world.
Nope.
Find another person. There's a lot of people in the world.
Stick with love. Love who you find.
Find love elsewhere.
And the best part, like if you're in love with your sister, you're going to see them in all the events anyway, so they're never out of your life. They're always going to be there. Right. You'll be fine. You just get to spare.
I could always take my brother to the other room. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, I guess. If it's illegal, I have no interest regardless, but
Before I was contemplating it, Mary is a pretty hot cousin. But now that I know it's illegal.
No. I don't even think I've ever even thought I had a cute... Maybe I had a cute cousin when I was a kid or something, but I don't know.
Oh, man, Rachel was very cute.
Is this the girl you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like a real one?
Cousin, yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
The cousin, not cousin?
Right. I didn't give her last name. It's a pretty broad first name. I think I'm covered.
And don't get me wrong. If Salma Hayek, I found out like she was a third cousin, I'd have to break some rules and just say,
What if she was your sister?
Oh, you know what? Okay. How about this scenario?
That'd be cool because I'd be Hispanic.
You start sleeping with Salma Hayek. You guys are planning your wedding. Then you find out you're brother and sister.
Oh, wow.
See, that's how you should have framed it. Now we have a complicated question.
Good. Well, now it's rephrased, and here it's asked.
It's Salma Hayek? Because I'm in. Yeah, I'm going to make this work.
She is a pretty lady.
I feel like that situation changes circumstances because you didn't go into it like knowing.
But now you're breaking
Yeah,
the
you
law.
didn't. You had no idea. Yeah.
Found out Papa was a Rolling Stone.
But I still get hung up on the adoption part.
Why do you get hung up
Like
on
if you
adoption?
grew up together, because then the question becomes: does society say that it's gross and unappealing because you grew up together, or because you share blood? And if it's because you share blood, is that because of kids or is it because of something else? Because really, then I feel like the kids is the biggest part. Because there's
your scenario. Sorry, but I feel like adopted siblings are a pretty common trope in romantic fiction, especially coming out of the East in Japan.
What? Really?
Yeah, a lot of manga and anime and stuff. But it does happen in American fiction as well. So it makes your point kind of makes it feel all the more arbitrary. Because now you tell people that adoption is family, but then you're like, but if you end up banging, we'll let it slide. Pick a lane.
But then the question is, what's the difference? If adopted siblings are okay or they're not, if they're okay, then why?
How desperate are you people that it has to be an option? I don't understand.
Hey, Aaron, you find love, man.
No, there's so much love out there. Go find love that's not related to you.
It's Selma Hayek.
I don't.
Well,
Yeah,
if you're
still
Christian,
wouldn't.
we're all related. It's just distant.
There's that too, man. Let's take it back to Adam and Eve.
I don't.
Those kids,
This whole conversation is making me uncomfortable.
those kids
I don't
had
like
to
it.
be related. Those kids had to be related.
Well, even if they weren't related, the people, all of their kids and all of the other people would be connected.
I mean, the only way that makes sense is incest, yes. That God is okay with incest is the only way the Bible makes sense.
I am out of this conversation. Are we done yet?
I'll say it.
I don't. I personally wouldn't be okay with any mode of it. Half adopted, marriage. I just family's family. Don't make out with your family. There you go.
Wait,
done.
So
circle back though. If you found out after the fact, you're cool with it.
If you find out after the fact, like they've had a long-term relationship, and then you find out that they're cousins or brother and sisters. If they're brother and sister, I would still say, well, we ain't getting married. If you're cousins, at least I could, like maybe they filed for the marriage certificate and that's how they found out. Then I would have to look at that because that's different. I mean, you've got a lot invested in your cousins. I don't think cousins aren't as serious as brother, sister, or anything like that.
So for you, because you said it's doesn't matter if it's blood or not, it's about the relationship growing up together.
To me, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because I've never been that desperate where I'm like, man, the only option I have is my brother or my sister. That sucks.
What if you met your sister when you were 30? You're like, wow, we hit it off on every facet.
That he's.
I still would go. That's still my sister. So no.
It's rude to turn down family.
You can ask this question 45 ways. It doesn't change the answer. It's always going to be no.
Well, the only change of the answer was if it was Selma Hayek. Do you think the story is truth or fiction?
Truth.
Fiction.
It's fiction.
I'm bummed. I was kind of hoping this was like this would be where you come out or something. You're like, well, here's the truth. Here's what happened.
Yep. Here it is, man.
Also, you could have used a story of somebody who was imprisoned for it.
No, I'd be furious. That's a dumb crime.
I do agree it's kind of a dumb crime.
They say piracy is a victimless crime. This sounds like a victimless crime.
To me, it's the same. It's along the same lines as I don't agree with it. Okay. And I get why you would make it illegal because you shouldn't have access to benefits. That's more of a society thing. I get it. But I had sex with my cousin, so I can go to jail for that. And we were consenting adults. I don't agree with that. It's no different than prostitution. You're consenting adults. It's whatever.
See, that's another thing where the government is forcing their values on you.
Well, I mean, that's society, though,
Yeah.
across the board.
I
I
know.
do think society needs rules, though. If you don't have rules, you have chaos. And if you have chaos, you don't really have society. So there is a reason for the rules. And sometimes you have to have those rules in place so people think twice about humping their sister.
Okay, now I'm at the point where I'm like, but what is that? What are they preventing? Like, I guess I've never thought about it.
Three-eyed children. That's what.
So let's get into the study of genealogy on this.
But what if they don't have babies?
Right.
Well, now we're China, where we're going to regulate how many babies they have?
No. I'm saying, like, what if they're both fixed or something?
Right. You're both sterile.
And they physically cannot have children. Does that change the circumstances?
Well, now it seems very specific.
Well, no, I'm just like, now I'm getting
You want to date your sister? Here's how you do it. You got to get cut
Solder.
or tied up.
Solder her womb.
Yeah, that's the only way. You want it? It's real love, huh? Let's prove it. Let's do this. Come on,
that
show
would
me your
definitely
lover.
prove it, man.
Well, and it might take care of all of the foster children because then they'd have to adopt if they want
I'll tell
a
you
family.
what. If they're willing to do all that, let them have it. That's what I say. That's a lot of effort.
All right.
You're right. I was just trying to get to the core of why it is illegal.
Word.
What is the title of your story?
It knows no bounds.
Oh, because love.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
like that.
I feel like this should be a Valentine's Day
So romantic.
episode. Just kidding. It shouldn't. Ew.
Love.
Ew. Wow. I can't wait to edit this.
As you write your own life story, always remember to tell it with a smirk.
Well, you want to tell people where they can find
No,
us and
jeez,
shit?
come on, man. That's your job.
All right. As our show goes, we will occasionally pick listener stories to read and discuss on Smirk. You want a chance to have yours read, email it to mystory@smirkpodcast.com. If you have an incest story of your own that you want to share, be sure to send it in. Make sure it's consenting adults. I don't want anything inappropriate.
I want true smutty stories only.
Join the conversation by joining our Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter at Smirk Podcast. Use the show's hashtag Smirk. Please rate and review us. Maybe not for this episode, but other ones on your podcast app of choice. Now you can take us out, Zach.
As you write your own life story, always remember to tell it with a smirk. Sexy smirk. They met when they were young, during that confusing, tumultuous time of youth when you're discovering yourself.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Oh, damn.
I
right.
took that to the wrong place.
Like your penis? Like you're discovering your penis?
Oh my God.
And you discover what a sock can do to help you out?
Sorry. Finish your story.
I hope you put this in the outros.